welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing my May favorites and I'm so excited to film this because last month I actually skipped it because there was just not really that many great products that I was so excited about to feature. But this month it's a whole different story. I have a bunch of new ones, and if you're interested to see what are they, then just keep watching the video. So now looking at the pile, I actually realized that all of the products I have here are basically face products and one eyebrow, but whatever. So I'm gonna start with the skincare, which is the only, like, it's not just really skincare, it does kind of link really kind of link in with the makeup part. This is basically the pure organic witch hazel floral water. Now this is the most basic thing you can get for your skincare routine. One of my friends who actually lives here in Birmingham and goes to uni with me, she actually recommended this. She's really into like mixing her own skincare and she knows a lot about it. And whoops, I just dropped it. And she recommended this to me because if you have I can't speak today. Focus. Alright, so basically, because if you follow my channel, you will know that I've been struggling with acne for ages, and I went through a bunch of different treatments. I do acne updates all the time on my channel, and lately, because I guess with the time difference or with the weather difference that's been kind of happening because June, summer is coming, my skin has been kind of freaking out a little bit, especially like on the sides here. And what I love using this for is basically, I know this probably sounds really bad, but usually when my skin gets kind of really irritated or annoyed and starts breaking out, I will stop skincare routine, like completely. I will not do anything except for cleansing on my skin, and I kind of let the skin renew itself on its own without like using any kind of intense moisturizers or anything like that. So what I've been loving using this for is basically when I wash my face and if it feels a bit dry, I will just kind of spray this all over my skin, and it really helps to kind of nurture the skin, but in a very natural way. Basically, this is just 100% witch hazel, so basically basic. Because if you look at any of your skincare items, there's gonna be at least like 10 ingredients inside of it, probably a lot of chemicals as well. But this is like super inexpensive, very simple, and I just love the feel it gives to my skin. The only thing is it smells really bad because, hey, it's from the nature, so yeah, there's no perfume inside of this or anything like that. And I've been also really loving this, like when I apply my makeup, if it feels a bit like dry in places or something, I'll just like kind of spray it from the distance and it doesn't affect it at all. So I've been really enjoying this one, and definitely if you have a kind of combination, very sensitive and acne prone skin, check out witch hazel. Alright, so that was a long discussion. Next I'm gonna move on to like my foundation duo of the moment. Again, because my skin has been kind of freaking out, I wanted to do something light for it. So if I'm filming, usually I will do like a full-on cake face, but I don't know if you can see, but like my skin is pretty kind of natural right now. It's not like caked on. I swear by my MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation, and I will usually use a very heavy concealer underneath it, but I stopped doing that just because I want to let my skin breathe. So after I returned from the YouTube space for the Next Up program, I joined like this beauty parlor here in Birmingham, which they did a few events with the Body Shop. So it was a lot of fun. Like we would go to like these events inside of the store. They would close up the store for us, and then we had like a facial and cocktails, and it was just a lot of fun. So I also got to try during that kind of event. I tried their fresh nude foundation. One of the girls there, she actually tested this on me. As you can see, this is now pretty light for me because I did tan a little bit. So yeah, I should probably exchange it or get a new shade actually. This is number 10 porcelain. I'm definitely not really porcelain anymore. But yeah, this foundation really is what it says, fresh nude. Like it gives that kind of very fresh skin-like finish. It gives very light coverage. Normally I would stay away from these kinds of foundations because I always look for a lot of coverage in my skin, even if my skin is super good, just because I never had I did have perfect skin when I was a teenager, but like I haven't had perfect skin in a while, so I'm always looking for that kind of mask effect. But lately I've been really enjoying the more kind of natural look on the skin, and I think this looks really healthy. I mean, it gives a lot of like, it gives a very natural finish, and then with a bit of highlighter on the tops of the cheekbones, it really makes you look very fresh and healthy. You couldn't tell I slept for 4 hours last night, I think. So that's the power of makeup. And yeah, it feels really comfortable. Supposedly it has some kind of oil that I know if you have acne you're probably freaking out right now, but some kind of good oil that just helps to kind of rejuvenate the skin and kind of hydrate it during the day, and it lasts really well. So I've been definitely enjoying this one, plus it's not really that expensive and will probably last me a while, so yay for Body Shop. I also have one concealer that I kind of rediscovered. I used to use it all the time and then I kind of forgot about it. It is the Clarins Instant Concealer in the shade number 1. When I was fair, this did not really work for me just because, well, it was too dark for me, which this is the lightest shade, so that's kind of odd. But now with a bit of a tan, I can really use this. So usually because like this part right here, like the side of my cheek always gets acne, and yeah, if my skin is like really bad and the foundation isn't like really even it out as much as I would like it to, I will just use this as a spot concealer just anywhere where I need it to conceal a little bit of redness and everything, and it just melts into the skin perfectly. So if you are on a hunt for a good concealer that will give you great coverage but still look like skin, definitely this one is amazing. And also for both of those products, so both for the concealer and for the foundation, I've been really loving the Sigma Dual Fiber F50 brush. So basically it's just a very big stippling brush, and I never really used to be a fan of these kinds of brushes. I used it this morning, that's why it's dirty. But basically I will just pump out the foundation here and kind of go over my skin and kind of bring it down on my neck. And then if I'm using like a concealer, I will use my finger to kind of pat it on any areas that are problematic and then go back in the foundation brush to really give that airbrush finish. And I feel like this brush, no matter what foundation I use, it just kind of thins it out but gives maximum coverage, if that means. So I feel like I use less product and get better result with this brush, and I'm kind of it's funny that I never really used it before and I had it forever. So yeah, definitely a really good one if you're looking for that kind of really even and nice finish. What else? Okay, I have one bronzer that is new to me. This is the Sigma Nightlife by Camila Coelho, which is a fellow YouTuber, I believe, in the shade Limelight Bronzer, and I freaking love this. This is basically the most easy to blend bronzer you will ever come across. It is a very kind of cool tone color. Oops, sorry. It is a very kind of cool tone color. You can use it for contouring. I will usually just, that's what I'm wearing like in the hollows of my cheeks right now. It gives a really good definition, but at the same time it's not muddy and it blends really easily. So what I will usually do is just do a super sharp line across like my cheekbones, and then I will use the brush I was using for it. I mix and match my brushes all the time, and just kind of blend it out more towards the tops of the cheekbones than downwards, because I like this part to be very light. But yeah, just incredible formula, blends so well, and I especially love the color. The color is very similar to Benefit Hoola, if you know that one. Pretty similar. The only thing is that you don't get a ton of product in here. It's like 0.12 ounces. So I feel like this is a very small packaging, but honestly I use this every single day. I had it for maybe like a month and a half, and I love it. I really love it, and I haven't hit pan yet on it. So I think, like, I don't know, you do go through bronzer quite quickly if you use it all the time, but I don't know, I just like it. It's a great product, and it's really not that expensive at all. Again, Sigma products are very affordable, but the quality, every single product I get from Sigma and try, I just freaking love it. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Alright, moving on, I have a blush. This is a blush from Coastal Scents. It's called their Forever Blush, and I'm trying to think now if I included it maybe in my March favorites, because I had this for a little bit. But this color called Poetic is just freaking amazing. So even if I did include it in my favorites, I'm including it again because this is basically the only blush I've been using this month. And it is just a very unique color. I didn't really see anything like this before. It is the perfect kind of mix of a mauvey, rosy color with no glitter, no shimmer, but a slight shine to it, if that makes any sense at all. But that's what I'm also wearing today on my cheeks, and I think it suits my kind of more tan skin tone, but then again it looked really good when I was pale. So I think this is a really great universal shade, and again the formula is just freaking amazing. I love the products that are like super pigmented, that when you apply it you're just like freaked out like by the amount of pigmentation you get from it. But then when you start blending it, they're just buttery smooth to blend, and they look so natural and like faded, which this definitely does. I have a few of these. The formula of these are just crazy, and they're like, I think less than $8 for a piece, plus Coastal Scents always does some kinds of sale. So what else to say? Like, even if you're not a fan of these kinds of colors, they have a bunch of different ones, and yeah, they're really good. The packaging is not the best. It's kind of just a regular kind of plasticky container and stuff, but still, the product, freaking amazing. Alright, next I have a highlighter, and this one is from Becca, and I actually ordered like a little set where you get a miniature of their powder highlighter, the why do I want to say mineral skin finish? It's not that, it's the Skin Perfectors. The Skin Perfectors, they're highlighters that everybody raves about. I have a few already and I freaking love them, but in that little set that I ordered, I actually also got the Becca Skin Perfector in the shade, this is Moonstone? No, this is Opal. So this is, you have the Moonstone, which is the most like light white shimmering color. This one is a little bit more on the pinky golden side, and this is a liquid luminizer, and that's what I'm actually wearing on the tops of my cheekbones today. Blended like after my foundation, I will just apply it on the tops of my cheekbones and then just kind of pat it with my fingers. And this is the most effortless product you can use. It comes as a doe foot applicator, and I just kind of, you know, swipe it here and that's it. But this is freaking amazing. A lot of liquid luminizers will break me out. This one really doesn't, and I think the result is a lot more natural than many other ones, because this is a liquid luminizer and it doesn't really have a lot of like chunky glitter. Actually, it doesn't have any at all. I'm gonna kind of swatch it so you can kind of see. But hopefully you can see that it just reflects. So basically it doesn't do anything else. It doesn't have like any chunks inside of it that will cause it to look very kind of, you know, emphasize the pores and do all the bad stuff that highlighters tend to do. But at the same time, it just kind of drags that kind of healthy glow from within and blends into the foundation really well without like breaking it up. So yeah, just a really great formula, and I especially really love the color, which is like the perfect mix between like a golden pinky highlighter, because usually I feel highlighters either are super pink or super golden and there's nothing in between. And this is just perfect, especially, you know, when I'm trying to get that kind of healthy summer glow. This is the product I've been kind of reaching for, and I love it. Alright, and then finally I have a brow product, and this is from NYX. This is their micro brow pencil, and the shade I have is Auburn. The shade is not perfect for me at all. I do have it in my eyebrows right now, but it's very warm for me. And what I really love about it is that it seriously is a micro pencil. It's so thin, and it just disperses the perfect amount of products where it's not like, you know, drawn on. You can really mimic the hairs really nicely, and then it also comes with a spoolie on the other side. So I just kind of comb through my brows. I use a little bit of gel and my brows are done. And this also lasts really well. I usually go through eyebrow pencils really quickly, but this one has been lasting me really well. And I still have a ton of product left. Plus, it's not expensive, so yay again. Okay, and there is one thing that I have to mention really shortly. I don't know, I probably wouldn't put it in my favorites because I was pretty upset about it, but I will tell you about it because I want to bring awareness to the subject. So yeah, basically the other day I went to have lunch at my friend's house, and I was walking down the street and I saw this cat. And I always see this cat when I'm going to the gym because she's always around the neighborhood. And when I saw the cat, she had a limp, like a really bad one, and she started walking towards me. So I kneeled down on my knees, like right next to her, and started petting her to see like what's wrong with her. And she put her little paws on my lap, and she tried jumping in my lap, and she couldn't do it, obviously because of her back legs. So she like crawled up next to my feet and like put her little paws on my foot, and then her leg, her head on it. And I started like petting her and didn't know what to do because I can see the cat is like hurt. And this is a stray cat, and like a common sense would be like, you know, it's a freaking cat that's not even mine. But I started freaking out. I really wanted to help the cat. So one of my neighbors actually walked out. I've never seen the people before, and I told them what, you know, something's wrong with this cat. So we phoned RSPCA, and they got the emergency driver come and pick up the cat. And yeah, so basically the cat, it was like in pretty bad shape, but I've decided like if the cat is alright, I am going to take her and give her a comb. Because the cat didn't have a tail, she had a really bad limp, and I felt like that cat came into my life and it was meant for her to get in my house. And I was ready to give her a home, but then yesterday I called back to the hospital and they said that the cat is in really bad shape, that she has really bad internal injuries. She might have been like violated or, you know, hit by a car or something happened to her. And yeah, so basically I started sobbing on the train station because it was really sad, and I connected to that cat even though it was never mine. But yeah, we even like thought of a name and everything. So yeah, but that kind of made me realize that there's actually a whole lot of animals, you know, who go through the same thing, that have come from a really bad home, or, you know, were injured and that they're now in the shelter. So it made me realize that there are ways for us to help. And even though this cat, Mr. Tails, that was supposed to come here, didn't make it, I still think, you know, it's incredible that there's this service that like would come and pick up a stray animal just because, you know, somebody gave a call. So yeah, just like, you know, with people and everything, it's so sad, you know, what's happening in the world and everything, but like every single thing you can do really does help. I mean, that cat unfortunately won't make it, but at least, you know, she's now in a center where she's been taken care of, whereas, you know, she was like left on the street. God knows what would have happened with her. And so what we are gonna probably do is we're gonna take an animal from an animal center, you know, save one life. So if you're thinking about getting a pet and you are willing to like pay for it, I would really ask you to think like maybe you can like also look at an animal shelter and actually save one life more, because like that seems like a very nice thing to do. And why not, you know, if you're gonna get the same amount of love as you would for a paid animal. So yeah, that's my kind of sad cat story. But yeah, I just wanted to share it with you, just, you know, in case you're kind of thinking about getting, you know, something, give an animal a home. So alright, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Thank you again so much for watching, and yeah, if you want to follow me on any of my social media accounts, the links are gonna be below this video. And if you're a new viewer, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, if you have any requests, leave them in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys very soon in my next video. Bye!